Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I just want to say, don't panic. Everything's going to be fine. The government is not collapsing until Thursday. Because last night, Senate Republicans sank Democrats' plans to fund the government and raise the debt ceiling. And I understand the debt ceiling is not the sexiest topic. That, as ever, is Matthew McConaughey. But if this doesn't get resolved by Thursday night, the federal government will officially close as of 12:01 a.m. on Friday. You know what that means? Do you have any idea what that means? That means no security guards working at the Smithsonian. It's time for the biggest heist in history. I'm stealing Lincoln's hat. Nicolas Cage, call me. Legend has it, it's filled with caramel corn. But the shutdown isn't really bad news. Not the baddest of the bad news. That would be the debt ceiling. You see, after the vote, Congress got a stern letter from Treasury Secretary and drama teacher at Hogwarts, Janet Yellen. Yellen warned that if Congress doesn't take action, the U.S. will default on its debts by October 18th. That is going to ruin the sacred month of Rocktober. How are we going to fund getting the lead out of the drinking water? The United States has never defaulted on its debt in its entire history, and there's a good reason for that. A default would be financial Armageddon. It's complete craziness to even contemplate the idea. Interest rates would spike. The value of the U.S. dollar would decline. The cost of auto and home loans would rise. The United States could plunge into an immediate recession. There would be cascading job losses, a near freeze in credit markets, and gross domestic product taking a tangible hit that could last for multiple quarters. Multiple quarters, by the way, would also be all the money our country has left. We'd have enough to do one load of laundry, but then we got to hang dry. So what's the holdup? Well, surprise, it's Senate Minority Leader and Great Goblin from The Hobbit. I'm not sure if you're booing for McConnell or the Goblin. They're both bad guys. McConnell got every single Republican in the Senate to oppose raising the debt ceiling because he believes that Democrats should have to raise it with no Republican votes, and justified that by saying this.
Bipartisanship is not a light switch that Democrats get to flip on when they need to borrow money and switch off when they want to spend money.
Yes. Bipartisanship is not a light switch. It's a Peloton bike. We talk a lot about having it, but we never actually turn it on. It does make a nice coat rack. But there is a plan B for the debt ceiling. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says Democrats are discussing their options, including minting a $1 trillion coin. Oh, good. Because if there's one thing people never lose, it's coins. Just to be safe, why not also mint some $1 trillion AirPods? Now, I hear you asking, what coin? This $1 trillion coin idea was first floated by legal experts during the Obama presidency, citing a strange federal law giving the U.S. Treasury Secretary the power to issue platinum coins of any value she wishes. Now we know what Obama meant when he talked about change. Speaking, thank you. Really? Really?
Yeah, right on.
Wow. Honor. What an honor. Yeah. What an honor to get a rim shot from the Jazz Cowboy. Hey, speaking of ex-POTUSes, we're getting some new details about the White House under former President Cthulhu. It's all in another bombshell tell-all. This one from former White House press secretary and woman with resting death mask face, Stephanie Grisham. Grisham never held a press conference during her entire term as press secretary, but she's spilling the tea on DJT in her new book, I'll Take Your Questions Now. Little late. Reminds me of that Titanic crew members tell-all, I'll look out for icebergs now. Grisham, they will be missed. Yeah. So sad. So sad. Grisham writes about Putin's attempts to manipulate the ex-pres. At one meeting, Putins Translator was a very attractive brunette woman, and U.S. officials suspected she had been selected by Putin specifically to distract our president. And I'm being told we have a picture of that translator. There you go. There you go. Good looking. Good looking. Dealing with the president's mood was a full-time job. In fact, there was an unnamed White House official known as the Music Man, designated to play him his favorite show tunes, including Memory from Cats, to pull him from the brink of rage. And if they wanted to drive him to the brink of rage, they show him the movie Cats. And remember 2019? In 2019, when the then president unexpectedly went to Walter Reed Medical Center, but nobody knew why? Well, according to Grisham, the president went for a colonoscopy. Well, sure, with this president, they had to film it in IMAX. But, of course, when it came to his beehole, the president had to be a real a-hole. He was so reluctant to hand over powers of the presidency to Vice President Mike Pence that he underwent the colonoscopy without anesthesia. Oh, my God. That had to be terrible for the doctor who had to give a colonoscopy while the guy on the table kept screaming about how he won Michigan. Now, one of the reasons, evidently, for keeping the colonoscopy secret back then was that he didn't want to be the butt of a joke of TV comedians. Sir, please, I would never have made a joke about your butt. I would have made it a primetime special. The Late Show's presidential butt-tastic ass-stravaganza, how full of crap is he? Turning away from the president's butt for a moment, let's travel a few inches down the old taint highway to the president's junk. Because after Stormy Daniels spilled the beans on his Frank, the president called Grisham from Air Force One to assure her that his penis was not small or toadstool-shaped. It's all going to be in next season's American Crime Story, Mushroom Dong. So good. Ryan's done it again. Unbelievable. Sarah Paulson plays the Mushroom Dong, and she just transforms. Unbelievable. Every day, 7 hours in the chair for makeup. In COVID news, supply chain problems are hitting kids in the lunchbox. Across the country, schools are facing shortages of cafeteria staples like chicken, meatballs, apple juice, and even plastic cutlery. It's gotten so bad, cafeterias have been forced to serve Orderly Joes. Issues like school lunch wouldn't be such a big deal if we had a robust social safety net. And when Americans are looking to pay for social programs, liberal politicians like Bernie Sanders tend to point to the success of Scandinavian countries. So I thought it'd be nice to check in with our Nordic friends in my new segment, Scandinavia's Bjorking News. So what's the latest from this socialist democratic utopia? Young Scandinavians are sticking nicotine pouches up their asses. Now I know what you're thinking. Ah! Also, what? Well, it turns out kids chewing tobacco is a big problem in Scandinavia, and it's gotten so bad that the Danish government actually banned the use of nicotine pouches during school hours. And the kids' solution was to shove them up their butts? I hope they don't do that with everything the schools ban. I can't focus. I know, I'll use my fidget spinner. Whee! Whee! Oh, no. Gyroscopic. This little gyroscopic. Now, to be fair, not every Scandinavian youth is shoving nicotine bags where the northern lights don't shine. Some of them are sticking nicotine patches up their foreskin.
Oh, no.
Good for you, kids. Way to think outside the butt.
Oh, no.
One prepuce pioneer explained his reasoning. I was bored and about to take a nicotine pouch and masturbate, and my curiosity got the better of me. But on the bright side, his penis quit smoking. Obviously, please don't applaud for that. Obviously, no one should be doing any of this, including this one guy who reportedly got drunk and forgot to take out the nicotine pouch again. Thankfully, this being Sweden, he was able to get it out by following this helpful diagram. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Drew Carey and comedian Phoebe Robinson. But when we come back,